Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 14 of MeelyStox, part of the SlapStocks Network. Myself, Jameel, creating these episodes here in Gainesville, Florida, out of our local card shop, as you know, the Mealy Pop Shop, and we love doing it. We are on episode 14, and we're going to get into it today. As you can see from the title, I'm pointing the wrong way. That way, right there, the 2020 wax era, which I'm excited about because there's been a lot of questions and comments about this as I've been looking at our past videos. We'll get into some of that tonight. So before we get going into episode 14, just like to call your attention, if you get a chance, check out MeelyPops.com if you get a moment. We have a ton of items available on the website. Great Christmas presents and holiday presents. We even do breaks from our website. Check that over there. There's our Friday Immaculate break, PYT, Hoops Premium Stock this Wednesday, and the mini box Star Wars Masterworks break. One of the only breakers who's breaking all that stuff. Basketball, football, and Star Wars all in 1 week, baby. So we're having a lot of fun with that. Please check out MeelyPops.com, sign up for an account, and we'll give you free rewards bucks. That's all done. You can do it through there, or you can go to the social part here. Check out our register login function, but you can also find all of our socials right there. All right, let's get into it. Episode 13. I'm excited about this because when we talk about wax, a lot of people get excited because, you know, it brings up so much memories of ripping packs, opening up boxes, opening up cases, getting in case breaks, breaking online. And I think the 2020 wax era is something that a lot of us can consider has been definitely, number one, it's definitely changed. But two, there has been some mixed emotions about it, I think, as wax has become a bigger entity in the hobby. So I thought we would go over some things tonight, talk about it. Hopefully you enjoy it. Give us some thoughts in the comments when you get done with this, and we'll definitely get back to you as we can. But wax in 2020, and as I work in the shop and as I watch customers and as I see people look at wax and consider wax, and when I say wax, by the way, I mean wax boxes. So sealed product could be boxes, packs, cases. That's just a cool name. We like to call it wax. That's just a hobby thing. But there's a lot of elements, and let's talk about that from the consumer side. So number one, yes, boxes, packs, cases, everything in between, it's gotten more expensive. This is part of it. It is just part of where we are in the hobby in 2020. It has gotten more expensive. It's not so much a inexpensive hobby anymore where you can buy the dollar packs and maybe get some cool cards, even some valuable cards. It's really changed. I, for one, have a problem even in our store being able to sell cards to kids, so I make an effort always to have free boxes for kids in the shop. We have free Pokemon for kids. We also find inexpensive packs for people under $10 so that kids can get in the hobby, but it is becoming kind of an issue. So I do understand the dilemma. Packs have become expensive. It is where we are, but I want to give you four, I think, points on why I think it's so expensive. So why has wax become more expensive? So the first one is I believe demand has grown exponentially for wax. And what I mean by that is I have so many new customers who have gotten into the hobby within the last 1 to 2 years. And it's not because we opened a shop in Gainesville. We don't have a massive metro area here in Gainesville, Florida, for tons and tons of people to come in the shop. What we're seeing is we're seeing people coming from all around the state, getting involved in wax, getting involved in the hobby, buying cards because they're seeing the rise of them and the investment side of them, as well as the fun it can be as a hobby because of things like breaks and because of things that maybe they've seen the Panini commercials and how they interact with the players, or maybe it's because of, you know, the excitement with the new rookies and Lukas and Zions and basketballs and Kylers and Burrows and Herberts and all these guys in football, and in baseball, the rise of some guy named Acuna or Soto, right? As we Jason Dominguez coming up through the ranks, Wander Franco. And so there's all this new excitement. I think there's been more focus on the rookies, been more focus on these elements, and so the demand has grown just really emoji, right? That little graph emoji where we see it skyrocketing. The companies are not able to keep up. They can't keep up with the demand that there is, and if they limit the production of stuff, it kind of waters down things. So I think what I will say Topps and Panini, Upper Deck, these manufacturers, I'm seeing them limit product in some sense, in a different sense than we've seen in maybe the 90s and 80s dilemma that we ran into with the mass production. So they've learned the issues. They've made less. They've made more limited product. Things are serialized, and we can kind of know how much is out there. And once that product is released, it's done, right? There's no more of it. So something to consider is just once that stuff dries up, we're seeing the gains. And when you want to rip something that there has been probably 75, 80% of the production ripped in the first 2 months, you're gonna have to pay a little bit more. And especially if those rookies have been good and they're in mainline brands as Prism and National Treasures or whatever, you're gonna have to pay more money. That's just kind of where we're at in the hobby. Number 2, there are mass gains with grading. And really until the last maybe 2 years, PSA 10s and Gem Mint, BGS 95s, and all those things in between, there's been such a high premium for graded cards. So in the relationship that grading has to boxes and waxes, that people know when they open boxes and they open wax that they're getting the stuff that's direct from the factory. It's not been passed around. It's not been handled. So there's already an allure there of pack pulled fresh, minty fresh, as you see on eBay, put into a top loader and a mag or whatever. And the cards, when you are breaking stuff, can really be accentuated by grading. Now, there is more capital and more resource that has to be put into that, but definitely an element of higher grading returns that we're seeing specifically with PSA, as well as companies like BGS, SGC, and CGC. I do think as the demand's grown and we've seen the gains in grading, those two are some of the biggest drivers of the wax pricing. But 3, the rookie card, the true rookie card, the RC logo, whatever you want to call it, that's really returned. And we haven't seen the true rookie card grow as much as it has really up until these last couple years. I can remember a time in 2010, 2011, 2012 when I was getting really kind of serious about this, that the rookie cards were cool, and a PSA 10 rookie card was great, but people wanted the autographs. They wanted the RPAs. They wanted the patch autos. They wanted the real scarce inserts. So there's been a shift back to, I think, some of the true roots of the hobby, which is the Zion Prism rookie card, right? The Topps Update Acuna true rookie card, right? We're seeing the Young Guns, Alexis Lafreniere, Connor McDavid true rookie card. And we're seeing just this element of a return to that, and people know that when they buy these hobby boxes, they can get the true rookie cards in abundance, as well as some of the parallels and the other elements to those rookie cards. So I do think the return of the rookie card has helped a lot. And then 4th, just specifically in the 2020 wax era, I hate to say it, but COVID, right? Because of this virus, it has created a time frame, this window of time we have where people have been forced to stay home, be on their computer, interact with the world a lot differently, and they have more computer time. They may be working from home. Most people that are working from home are probably not working from home. They're working a little bit from home, and they're also on eBay and ComC and watching SlabStox videos. So there's that element as well. There's no sports gambling, so to say. We didn't have sports for a very long time, real action live sports. So the card market saw this massive jump in the middle of the year with people kind of speculating and getting into the investment side of sports cards. And I just think, as you consider those things, those 4 reasons have really shot the price of wax up. So the wax era is more expensive because of that. And I don't know what we can do about that to make it less or more. It is kind of what it is, and that's where we are in the hobby. The second thing I'd like to talk about today, outside of why it's gotten more expensive, is the breaking culture with wax. So, rewind to 1993, and you go to your local Walgreens, your local flea market, your local card shop, your local Target, your local Eckerd here in Florida, if you know what I'm talking about. Your local Piggly Wiggly, your local Winn-Dixie, whatever. They all had cards. Cards were everywhere. They were mass produced, right? And so there wasn't really a necessity. You could get a card from every corner 7-Eleven stop and every Walmart checkout line. The cards were there in abundance. They were everywhere. Now look ahead to now, and I'll get to the retail element to this in a second, but everything now specifically the hobby and the retail elements are being ripped. They're being opened left and right. There's a limited production. They're not reprinting some of this stuff. Well, in some cases they are in retail, but with hobby, we're opening all of it, right? It's getting opened by breakers. Doing some of these corporate breakers are doing maybe 20, 30 cases on opening nights. I mean, think about that for a second. That's a lot of stuff. And then you have the local card shops who have the stuff, on the Wednesday or the Friday of release day, and people are coming in to eat it up. So everything is being ripped. Breaking is really changing the game. And I think another element of the wax game that's really intrigued people is it's brought more people in to collect what they want or buy what they want. For example, PYT breaks, pick your team breaks. That's been a huge element, I think, to making the wax era, the current era, grow. Is that people now can get into cases and boxes or whatever, multiple half cases, and they can buy just what they want. They can have the odds at just getting that team that they collect or that team that they want to flip. They can just get in for that reason. And so I think in those terms, you've grown the hobby and you've grown the wax demand just because of being able to pick and choose what you want to get out of breaks. All right. So that's the two points I brought up so far. So it's gotten more expensive. It's definitely breaking culture has changed the wax era. But number 3 is the exclusives that I believe, the exclusive releases and the direct-to-consumer sales. So in front of you, I put some wax boxes out that I think are interesting. Right here, this little sticker, as you guys know it, right there, first off the line, right? First off the line being a massive, massive entity in the card space. The sticker right there, buying these boxes early, getting these boxes from the Panini website, then having the uniqueness to these boxes, the extra hits that they have. This has really changed wax, these special, unique boxes that are almost parallels of the hobby box. That's really what they are, right? I have behind here Topps Brooklyn Collection. This is something that was an online-only buy. It's an awesome little product. Came through the Montgomery Club for Topps members, and it's an exclusive, another box. It's a direct-to-consumer. If you have those memberships, or you have access to the internet or a smartphone, you might be able to get these items. So when you consider, that's a 2020 product, by the way. It's a baseball product. The exclusive releases, the first off the lines, the Topps Montgomery Clubs, Topps has these Sapphire direct-to-consumers that come out on their website. Just all these elements where wax, there's a direct-to-consumer and there's an exclusivity to some of it where you can only get it through that way in a short period of time. I think it's created an easier access to obtain short printed options. And so when we have short printed options, it's only going to excite people more and increase the demand for wax. So that's another thing in the place that we're at in 2020. So hopefully as you guys are watching this, whether you're new or old to the wax area, you're learning a little bit or just noticing these trends. And I'm going to get into just the 4th point today, which is that the retail game, the Walmart, the Target lines, I don't know what other stores sell these kinds of things across the nation, but where people are getting in line, in some ways negatively badgering these poor salespeople that have to put the stuff out and buying up all the retail product as quickly as you can find it. Here's just an example of one. This is a Chronicles Panini cello pack, right? You don't really see these on the floor much, but this is an example of entry point that's not hobby, that's retail, and it does pretty well when it comes to the price point, right? You can buy these, I think, for $10 or something at Walmart or Target. The resale in the secondary market now is about, I don't know, $25 for one of these. Zion rookie cards, Jaw rookie cards. Panini's created a product that has just quite a ton of rookies and veterans in it. Chronicles is a brand that we didn't even know of about 2-3 years ago. So you see these elements with retail and how the game has changed immensely. In addition to that, the retail game, you have things like this. New products that are coming out left and right. This is a Mosaic 2020 football, but guys, this isn't Mosaic Hobby. This isn't Mosaic retail packs. This isn't Blaster. This isn't Choice. This isn't all the other elements of Mosaic that there is. T-Ball. This is Mosaic No Huddle, right? I mean, think about all the options with wax that's come out just in the last year or two. And some of you might be saying, oh, the manufacturers are flooding the market. I'm sitting back and watching and saying, no, they're not. They're just creating other options and other ways for people to collect. the stuff sells. I mean, it sells itself. So it's really unique in what we're seeing, I believe, in 2020. I do think that the retail game has definitely changed some things as well. It's got a lot of new people into this, the good and the bad, in terms of the hobby. Hopefully you've survived some of the cataclysmic events of what is Thursday and Friday mornings of MJ Holdings and Excel when the poor person is undoing the box. I heard today just in a store, a buddy messaged me and he said, there was this massive line, and the lady who was doing it just said, you know what? Everybody get in line. I'm going to hand you a football prism hanger, and then you go back to the end of the line. And then she just did it kind of like a rotunda, and when she was done, she was done. But, it's good. It's great. There's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of value. There's a lot of investment to what we're doing. I just brought up, No Huddle, and, we had a break the other night of a mega box of Mosaic. Pulled a gold Mahomes, numbered out of 20. Cards worth like, $400, $500, $600. PSA 10 is probably $2,000. You could buy that from Walmart, right? You could buy that from Target. So it's definitely changed the game in the sense of access, like I was talking about earlier. And I do think that we're in an era now that is not the junk era. That was something that was, classified in the 90s, is that we were in the junk era of wax, and it was just overproduced. And so we saw this blue, right, emoji down symbol with the stock market, the stock symbol there. And now we're in a time where there's extreme growth, extreme popularity. Only more and more and more people are coming. We're getting to things like fractional ownership websites, which we're starting to see. I'm sure you guys have seen Rally. I know Aaron and Nate have been posting a lot of that stuff and how you can buy into certain things. So there's some more things coming down the pipeline. I'll probably talk about that down the line, things that I'm learning about. But we're in a good place, I think, for the hobby in terms of popularity. It's becoming more mainstream. And I think that really shows where we're at in the 2020 kind of era of wax. So hopefully this was helpful to you. Hopefully you learned a little bit. Hopefully, you're enjoying these video casts. Please subscribe to MeelyPops and to the Slabstox Network on all our different platforms. You can find them. And until I see you next week, I think we'll have one more episode before Christmas. Have a great time. Be safe out there, and I will see ya.